Okay. Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the virtual launch of The Hollywood Witch Hunter by VALERIE TEJEDA. Oh, I'm pronouncing it wrong again.
TEJEDA.
Okay. It's so hard to pronounce last names. But her book just came out today, and the link's in the description box below if you go want to check it out. It's amazing, and we have lots of other amazing authors joining us today, along with Ben from Benjamin at Homes on YouTube. And
Hi.
yeah, Ben's right there. So we're just going to go down the line, and each of the authors will discuss, tell us who they are, discuss their books a little bit, and then we're going to jump right into the questions. So, are you guys ready?
Ready.
Yeah?
Ready.
Okay. Awesome. So, Valerie, you're first.
Hi, I'm Valerie TEJEDA. My book Hollywood Witch Hunter just came out today. I kind of can't believe it. I'm losing it a little bit. I didn't go to sleep till 5 a.m. and woke up at 8 and just been eating sugar and drinking coffee all morning, so it's been crazy. The book's about witches and witch hunters living in Hollywood, and it's just really fun. It's kind of like a Buffy meets Supernatural, and, you know, nothing too serious, but I think it's a fun read. Hopefully you guys will.
It is.
Amazing. Okay,
So good.
Renee, you're next.
Okay, awesome. Hi, everybody. I am Renee Ahdieh. I'm the author of The Wrath and the Dawn, which is a reimagining of the Arabian Nights. It's specifically the story of Scheherazade. It has some nods to Beauty and the Beast and The Count of Monte Cristo. So if you like stories that involve scimitars and swirling sands and dangerous girls who are trying to kill you, this is the book for you.
Okay. Michelle.
Hi, everybody. I'm Michelle Chris. I wrote Hexed and the sequel, Charmed. So Hexed is basically about a popular, snarky cheerleader who finds out that she may be a witch and ends up getting caught in the middle of this centuries-old battle between witches and sorcerers.
Hey.
So
Kami.
good.
I'm Kami Garcia. I am the shorter half of Beautiful Creatures. I write the Beautiful Creatures and Dangerous Creatures series with my writing partner Margaret Stoll. And Beautiful Creatures is a Southern Gothic. It also has witches, kind of, our brand of witches. It's about a boy who lives in a small southern town who finds out that things aren't as boring as they might seem when a new girl moves into the town and causes a lot of ruckus. And then my solo series is The Legion. The first one's called Unbreakable. And that one is very supernatural, the TV show, and Buffy-ish also. So if you like that book, you will like Valerie's book too. And that book is about a girl who finds out that her family hails from a secret society that's tasked with protecting the world from a demon. And it's about 5 teens who have to do that. And, of course, tons of things go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hi, and I'm Danielle Paiges, and my series is Dorothy Must Die. It's about another girl who lands in Oz and has to fight a very, very evil Dorothy. And my new series is called Stealing Snow, and it's a Snow Queen retelling, which I'm still working on.
Hey. Ben.
Hi, I'm Ben from Benjamin at Homes, also the author of The Wrath of the Hollywood Hex Dorothy Dangerous Dorothy. So basically I've been really busy writing these books, and I'm just so glad I get to share them with you, especially Hollywood Witch Hunter, which I'm just so proud of.
Oh my God, Ben, I love your books. You're my favorite author.
Thank you so much.
You're just, oh my gosh, yay.
Sasha.
Yay! Okay, you guys all know who I am since you're on my channel. But if you do not know, I'm Sasha from abookutopia on YouTube, and I haven't written a book yet, but I plan to in the future after college. It'll be great. Okay, so we're going to jump into the questions right now. I'll be saying the first one, and we're just going to go down in the order we just went in. And the questions are amazing. Val thought them up, and they are so good. I was just mooning over these questions. They're amazing. Okay, so the first question is, if I can get it up right here. Okay. Hollywood Witch Hunter features a kick-ass heroine named Iris, who isn't the sidekick and can take care of herself. Who is your all-time favorite kick-ass heroine?
Well, I mean, since I know I have to start, I have to say Buffy. Buffy's amazing. I mean, that goes without saying. I'm sure, almost all the way down the line, we're going to say Buffy. But I also really like, I mean, I know the movie wasn't so good, but I really liked Elektra. Like, I liked, like, the comic of her because she was just so kick-ass, and I just loved her. I hope she gets, like, a new movie eventually. Like, they need to reboot that.
She's going to be in, Daredevil.
Oh, really? Oh, good.
They cast her recently. I'm excited.
So, yeah, those are kind of the two that I really love.
My two heroines, probably the first one would be Storm from X-Men.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah, she's nature, and she's just, I mean, that hair, really. And then I would probably say Cleopatra, because she ruled in a man's world, and I like that a lot.
Your eyeshadow looks like Cleopatra. You have Cleopatra eyeshadow.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I have a problem with makeup, like a serious problem with makeup. So.
Oh, me too.
Same. Oh my god. I have so much trouble.
Okay, so I don't know. I have so many favorites. It's hard to pick a favorite. So I think, I don't know how to pronounce her name actually. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, but the main character in the Throne of Glass series, is it Selena?
Selena.
Selena? Okay. I just love her. I love that she's a kick-ass assassin, but at the same time she loves to wear dresses and she's really feminine at the same time. So I really love her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's my pick.
Valerie stole mine because I love Buffy. My dogs are actually named Spike and Oz, so hardcore Buffy fan. But who else do I love? I love Wonder Woman. I was Wonder Woman for 4 years in a row for Halloween. Very serious. I had outgrown the costume, but like I kept it going. And I did cosplay for Wonder Woman. Danielle knows this at Y'all West.
Horrible.
And who else do I like? And in terms of witches, I love the Mayfair witches. All the women in Anne Rice's Witch series.
So good.
They're all crazy powerful, and they don't need like any guy's help. No offense, Ben. They would probably want your help.
No, that's fine. I'm good if it's a witch. You can get rid of the guys. I don't like her. I just want to sit back and watch. I love me some witches. Big time.
Oh, my favorite would be Buffy. Also, I would say for movies, Aliens, Ripley would be my favorite. I love Sigourney Weaver's character. And then I would have to say Maleficent, even though I know I'm doing witches now too.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's funny because my ones kind of go, if I could be really biased and say each of the main characters of the amazing authors sat here, or I could go OG and talk about Prue, Piper, Phoebe, and Paige from Charmed.
Oh, I love them.
Because I feel like combine them all in one. I love them so, so much. And also Jean Grey from X-Men, Phoenix. Yeah. I love Jean Grey. I think she's a really like detailed, in-depth character, and she's got her insecurities, but that kind of plays to her strengths as well, which I love. So she's my heroine.
Yeah. Okay. So Kami took one of mine, which is of course Wonder Woman, and I'm so excited about Batman vs Superman coming out. It's gonna be so amazing. But yeah, Wonder Woman is she's like ultimate. But then I would have to say like book-wise, I like Ben. I love all the female characters in your guys' books, but I would have to choose Yelena from Poison Study by Maria V. Schneider. Her character has consistently just grown into such a strong character, but she still has her weaknesses, and I love when a character can act strong, but she also shows her weaknesses and her like character development and growth. And then I had a third one. Which one was my third one? Oh gosh. Oh yeah, of course, Claire Randall, also Claire Fraser from Outlander, of course, because she is a woman not of her time, even when she was in her time, and I just really think that she is amazing, like smart woman that people can look up to, and she is kick-ass in multiple ways, not just like physically, but mentally, and I love that. Yeah. Okay, Ben, do you want to go off with the third question?
Yeah, so this actually links quite nicely. I love this question very much, and Val will understand why. But this is Hollywood Witch Hunter has witches with spells that give them superhero-type powers. If you could have a superpower, what would it be, and why?
Ooh.
I know. Such a hard question. I know I like suggested the question, but it's still hard to answer. I think for me, anything with the mind, I would love. Not necessarily reading minds, because I don't want to know what people are thinking, but I think to be able to move things with my mind, or even like when it comes in handy, brainwashing would be pretty cool too. So I don't know. I've always loved Jean Grey too for that reason, just because she can do just so much with just like thinking about it.
Yeah.
So I think that is definitely what I would want. I'm not sure why I would want it, but I know that's what I would want if I could have like a superpower.
Oh gosh, so my gut instinct is to say fly, because I just love the idea of being just completely boundless, like not having any constraints on yourself and being able to go wherever you choose. But I feel like that's something that everybody else, I feel like everybody wants to do that at some point. So maybe the power of influence, I think that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with Valerie. I would say that I would want to be able to move objects because I'm basically like the laziest person on the planet. So I just want to sit on my couch and bring the snacks to me. Yeah, that's what I would pick.
Loving. Mm-hmm.
I'm the only person who doesn't want to fly at all, ever. I don't want to fly on a plane, like not in a house, not in a, not with a mouse, like not at all. I personally want to be able to bend metal. Magneto is my favorite superhero, and I definitely, villains are also heroes. I feel like there are many uses for bending metal. I have made lists in the past. That or like Firestarter all the way, like Stephen King, where I could just set things on fire at will. That would also make me happy.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, I like those. I think I usually would think flying, but I don't really want to do that the more Kami talks about it. I think I'd like to maybe read minds or maybe time travel. There's too many choices. I don't know. I think I'd like to know everything. I just like to know everything and like to read minds.
Yeah.
Do you know, I feel like I have put so much time and so much effort. Can you hear me, by the way? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I've put so much time into thinking about like what power I would have. It's been something that's played on my mind since I was like born, and I think lots of influences. So like I used to really want to have telekinesis, and that turned into elemental control. But at the moment, I've kind of whittled it down to the ability to control the density of cells. That may sound weird, but to be able to like make things heavier or be able to like walk through walls and stuff like that. So like cell manipulation, I call it. So. Something along those lines, and being able to control cells. I don't know. Does that sound lame? Maybe.
That's amazing. Okay, so for mine, I have a definition up because I wasn't really sure how to like actually explain it. But if you guys know who the Scarlet Witch is, she was currently in Age of Ultron. She is. Yes, I want her powers, so I have a definition as to what her powers are, because I don't know how to explain or categorize it exactly. So it says the Scarlet Witch can tap into mystic energy for reality-altering effects. This power is formerly limited to creation of hex spheres of reality-disturbing like forces to cause molecular disturbances and stuff. So I really would love her power, and plus like her like just like in that movie, she like in the comics even as well, she just like it was empowering, and I really want that power, but she used it for good, so you know that like she sometimes doesn't. But I thought that would be really cool, and I love red, so. Okay, so let's jump into the fourth question, which is really good as well. And this one says, there are so many great witches in books, TV, and movies. So who's your favorite pop culture witch?
I know this is the hardest one to answer because I love so many witches, and so many of the authors' books here I love, and I love their witches in there too. I think if I had to pick one, I mean, I love Maleficent, even though I know she's technically a fairy, right? Like, I don't know if she counts, but I do love Maleficent. She's, like, my favorite. I also love the evil queen in Snow White, and I do think she's a witch. Actually, she is a witch. I don't know why. I just have always loved her. Just the fact that she was, like, so badass that she, like, poisoned an apple. I mean, like, oh, my God. Like, so genius, right? So simple, but so smart. But I just always loved her, and even in Once Upon a Time, like, I love the character in there, you know, like she's so vulnerable, but then she's also like badass and has all this magic that she's trying to figure out. Do I use it for good? Do I use it for bad? So I would, if I have to pick one witch, I'd pick the evil queen from Snow White, basically. All
Love
that.
I also really love Maleficent, but then I was sitting here thinking about the witches I especially loved when I was a child, and I loved Ursula from The Little Mermaid. It was a Disney's version of The Little Mermaid. I just thought she was fantastic. She like owned herself. She owned everything about her world, and she had a great voice. So.
So I'm going to cheat and say three witches, which are the Sanderson sisters in Hocus Pocus. I love those witches. They're so funny. I especially love Sarah Jessica Parker's. I think she's Sarah Sanderson. She's my favorite. And Winifred.
They're the best. I mean, that's such a great movie. Like, it's so classic. I love that movie. So good. Oh, it's Kami's turn.
Sorry, it's my computer's like freezing, so I can't tell what everyone's doing. I think if not the ladies from Charmed, who I definitely love, I would have to say Willow from Buffy.
Oh, yeah.
Especially Bad Willow.
Yeah.
I like Bad Willow.
I hate going last because I really was going to say Bad Willow.
I'll say Tara then, and you can say Bad Willow.
But okay, but Maleficent would be my favorite. As a kid, I was more interested in her than anything else in the movie.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna cheat because I feel like I love witches. Like witches is like the reason I started booktubing the Beautiful Creatures series, although they're casters. But so I'm kind of gonna go for my favorite witch in a book. I'm gonna go for Morgan Rowlands from the Sweep series by Kate Tiernan. For TV, I'm going to go with Lena Duquesnes from Beautiful Creatures, from movie, sorry, and from TV, I'm going with the Charmed sisters, but especially Phoebe. I always loved Phoebe, although she had very, like, kind of passive powers. I would want to be Prue if I could, or Piper, and Paige. Okay, I want to be them all, but yeah, Phoebe is my one from the TV, so yeah, that's me.
So this is really hard for me because there's so many witches in pop culture, and it's hard to pick just one because they all have like something like new that they bring to the table. But if I have two, one is just because I'm currently watching the TV show it's called Bitten. It's based off of Kelly Armstrong's book, and they have a witch coven in it in the second season, and I really like.
I like it.
There's a TV show based on that series.
You don't know that?
It's good.
No.
I didn't know this either.
Netflix, do it.
This is the curse about living in England, okay? When you live in England, you know nothing, okay?
Also Canada.
Yeah.
Then the second person I would pick is like what a few people already mentioned is Maleficent, because I love that person. I just think she's really she's cool, and I especially even loved her even more in the Maleficent movie because I feel like we got to see a side of her that we didn't know before. So I kind of like new takes on witches, and they may seem evil in one interpretation of it, but then they may seem like you understand why they are like that in another. So I just really like Angelina Jolie's portrayal of Maleficent in that movie. So I think that's my second one.
No, Angelina's
Awesome.
the best Maleficent ever.
Yeah. Those cheekbones.
I just love Angelina Jolie. I mean, I know not everybody likes her, but I'm like obsessed with her. I think she's amazing. I loved her as Maleficent too. She was
I probably should have said The Wicked Witch of the West. I'm kind of a fan of that.
Oh yeah.
Just, yeah.
Especially the one in Wicked. That book is fantastic, and I love the portrayal.
Oh my god.
Of, the Wicked.
So good. Yeah. Yeah. So the next question we're going to ask, again, I particularly love this one because the answer for mine really excites me. And it's one of Iris's jobs, and Iris is the main character in The Hollywood Witch Hunter. One of Iris's jobs in Hollywood Witch Hunter is to protect celebrities who the witches are trying to kill. If you could trade places for a day with any celebrity, who would it be? I'm so excited to find out your answers for this one.
Goodness.
It's so random, but I would want to trade places with Chris Hemsworth. Because just to see how awesome it would be to be that freaking hot, okay? To have like that.
Like cook things on you.
And like, I mean, I just would want to be like in his body for a day and be like, wow, I'm so awesome because I'm Chris Hemsworth. So, or his brother Liam. I'll take either. Okay. So that's my answer.
I cannot pronounce her name, and I'm trying to look up the pronunciation. So again, I'm going to totally ruin this. I was just trying to look it up. I think right now I would love to trade places with Lupita Nyong'o. Is that how you say her name? The actress. I don't know how to say this. She is so fantastic, and I love like everything that she has to say. And I love how whenever she wins all the awards she's winning, she has such like wonderful insight. It's not just a mere like, you know, this thank you to all these people I know. She's, you know, empowering girls, empowering women, and I love that so much. So yeah.
It makes me feel bad for saying I want to be someone because they're hot.
Oh God, it makes me feel bad for what I'm about to say.
It's fear. She can pull off anything, any color. I look at her and I'm like, yes, queen.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
So pretty.
Yeah, and so smart and just humble.
She's an actress.
Yeah.
Good pick, Renee. That was a good one.
Well, I was going to say Taylor Swift because she just seems like she has an amazing life and she's always doing such fun stuff and she's so empowering and she's a feminist, so I really love her. But then Valerie's response gave me the idea that I want to be Elsa Patakai. Anyway, Chris Hemsworth's wife instead of I think that's the far better plan.
I think that works.
Oh my God, you were clever.
Oh my gosh,
You
this is
were clever.
really difficult. What celebrity would I want to be? Oh, seems very stressful to be a celebrity to me. And now that you took the hot one away, well, I wouldn't mind being Charlize Theron because I would like to be in Mad Max, in Fury Road. So that would be totally cool. I could be Linda Carter because then I would have been Wonder Woman, and everywhere I went, people would be like, they would call me Wonder Woman still. That's what happens to her. She does interviews and she says, yeah, everywhere I go, people call me Wonder Woman. So I could totally be down with just people calling me Wonder Woman on the street. So I will go with either one of those. And I think Charlize Theron has actually won awards, but I don't actually care about that part. I want to be like immediately recognizable or in like a terrifying role.
Yeah.
Is there a time limit on how long we're going to be this person? Because I would like to just be Angelina Jolie for a day, but with a babysitter. And like that would be a good day. And a date with Brad Pitt. That would work for me. Very specific. Am I frozen? I'm frozen, aren't I?
Yeah.
Well, you're back.
You're back. Okay.
So mine is absolutely, I feel like an extremely bad human being now after listening to your responses. I want to be Beyonce. Okay, there it is.
That's fantastic.
Just because the only reason is not for anything but I would want to go to a dance studio and just dance all day though. She's such an incredible performer. I like her. She's great.
And her alter ego's name is Sasha. Huh?
Oh yes, Sasha Fierce.
So mine, okay, it's not really vain, just because I have a major crush on this guy. So I would like to be Katrina Balfe, so I could go to set with Sam Heughan and just kiss him and have a really fun day with lots of kisses with Sam Heughan. Even if they aren't together, you know, I just would like that a lot. So I have an obsession, and they would get to be in Scotland, so that's like
Sure.
Yeah. So a lot. So yeah, Katrina Balfe, and plus Katrina's just an awesome woman, and like they're really down to earth for the fame that they've been getting recently, and I really love that about them. So yeah, Katrina Balfe.
I feel like I could have predicted Sasha's answer.
I know, right? So unpredictable, actually, not really. I probably tweeted about it once, just being like, I wish I was Katrina Balfe, just so I could go to set and see Sam all day. Okay, so the next question, number 6, is Hollywood Witch Hunter has diverse characters, and so does Renee's book, The Wrath and the Dawn. Why do you think it's so important to have diverse books, and name a diverse book that you recommend?
Okay. Well, there's so many diverse books that I recommend. I mean, of course, Renee's book, The Wrath and the Dawn, Adam Silvera's book, Saba. I mean, the list goes on and on and on because there's just so many good ones right now. As far as like why I think we need diverse characters, I mean, it's just so important for people to feel represented in books. I know I've kind of talked a little bit about this before, but for me, I like had this moment as a kid where I got like treated bad when I was like on vacation, and it made me feel like, why are they treating me this way for being Hispanic? And then why can't I find any characters like me? Because that's what I wanted. After I was treated like that, I wanted to find people like me, like in pop culture, to relate to. And so just not being able to see that as a teenager and a kid was like really hard. And so I think for me, just being able to see that now finally coming full circle, we're finally seeing more diverse characters, and I think it's just really important for people. They need to feel represented, and yeah, I think that's, it's just, we need it. We all need more diverse books because we need to see ourselves in these characters, basically, is the gist of it.
I totally agree with Val. When I was growing up, I'm a child of mixed race, and of course I didn't see myself much in books, and so I knew when I started to write that I wanted to bring a different world to life, but I also wanted, I wanted the diversity in my books to be sort of incidental to the narrative, where it was still, that there was a great story, and then you had these characters throughout that were a reflection of our society. And it's, it's important for kids and anyone who's reading a book to see themselves in a book, but I also think that books are great windows. And in being windows, they teach people empathy, because when you start to understand somebody's different experience or someone's different perspective, that teaches you a great deal of empathy. And I loved that when I was growing up. I remember the first couple of books that I read that had, non-white characters, and they still stick with me. And I think right now for the books that I would recommend, definitely Saba's. I also love Sona Chirpotra and Danielle Clayton's Tiny Pretty Things. I think that's wonderful. And it's another book that has, diversity being incidental to the narrative, but they did such a meticulous job of making each character, because it's got 3 different POVs in it. Each character, they did such a good job of making them true to where their background came from.
Yeah, that's such a good book. Yeah. I love that book too. And I was going to add too, I think with me what was important was not making the characters stereotypical, because I think when we do see diverse characters in books or TV, it's always like that stereotypical box character, you know what I mean? So to be able to, be able to kind of not have it an issue, just have it be who they are, they happen to be not white. And so I think that that's so important too, and we need to see that moving forward. I just think for teens and kids, like non-issue books, I think are really important too.
Yeah, I think the others have already touched on this, but it's so important because everybody should be able to pick up a book and find themselves in a book. And some books that I would recommend, this is awkward, The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. This was one of my favorite books this year. It is so good. I think one of the blurbs from Marie Lu was an intoxicating gem of a story, and I couldn't describe it any better. It is so good. I'm also reading Tiny Pretty Things at the moment right now, and I'm about halfway through, and it's so good too, and a diverse cast. I couldn't recommend both of those books more.
Yes, so good.
Oh, I have the book over there. Tiny Pretty Things.
I was a teacher for 17 years before I wrote. Well, I was a teacher for 17 years, and 2 of those years we were writing Beautiful Creatures. So I think it's, and I'm also, my husband's Cuban, so my children are biracial. And they, like my daughter's blonde, they look very white, but they have like a very, they really understand that they're Cuban. And so I think that, looks and appearances can be deceiving. And, people can assume, my husband also is like just, he's really pale and dark hair, and he's like 6'4". So people just assume he's like a big white guy. And, he's 100% Cuban. And so, like, I think it's very difficult for kids to read stories and not be able to see themselves. I think that I also love, as much as I love, Walter Dean Myers and, people who write kind of more issue books and, about different areas, I love it when it's just integrated into the narrative. And actually, I have a biracial character in Unbreakable, but I was actually thinking about why do I not have more, characters of color. It was hard to do, obviously, in the South, but, now that I'm writing other places, and my new book is a contemporary romance. It won't be out till next year. It's called The Lovely Reckless, and it has a lot of, Latino and Asian and, white and black and, you know, biracial, because, you know, like, it's like kind of a why not? Like, it doesn't need, you know, none of the characters are, like, have to be that race in order to be that character. So it's kind of like, why go default white, I guess. And I love the Mortal Instruments series, because not only is there a lot of diversity in races, but also, you know, there are, you know, LGBTQ characters, and I also like it that it's very integrated. It's not about, like, you know, pointing out constantly this character is this color, looks this way. It's, like, very seamless. And I blurbed Legend, and I love Marie Lu's book Legend also, and I was, like, super in love with Day when I read it, and so that's why I was like, I'm going to blurb it, and then, you know, I can channel Day around me. But I think it's important, but I think it's important what Valerie's talking about, where it's just normal. It's not, like, stereotypical, and it's not like we're pointing out, like, hey, look, we have a character of color. It should just be a normal thing that's part of the narrative.
Just totally incidental. I love that too. I think that's great.
And I agree with what everybody just said. I think totally having someone integrated into the story makes a big difference. And growing up, I didn't find a lot of that for myself when I was reading. As far as recommendations, I did a panel at ALA with Saba and Nicola Yoon and a bunch of other people, and Fonda Lee. There's so many great books. I'm really in love with Nicola Yoon's Everything, Everything. It's just and I blurbed it, and I thought it was just lovely. It's just such great writing. So I agree with everybody.
I think I agree completely. With me, I didn't really read much as a child because I didn't see the appeal in reading, because I never saw myself as a gay male reflected in any of the books I read when I was younger. So it was just, so I never had that initial, oh, I'm gonna read this, because I don't know, I just didn't connect. And I think it's now, being older and being able to reflect back, I can see that being the reason. I also think it is important for it just to be normal. It's just normal to have these characters in from all these, you know, diverse backgrounds and such like that. I think it is an extremely amazing tool for people to learn empathy, especially that you have readers now who are young, and if you are introducing things, you know, maybe about, you know, transgender issues or people or being, you know, homosexuality into the books that they are reading at their early age, or introducing them to these ideas and introducing to these issues being dealt with in a normal way. And it kind of allows them to read these books and take on what they're reading and take on these ideas and make it their own. They're not being told what's right, they're making their own from having empathy for the characters. So I think it's really important. And, you know, I'm really glad to, like, for example, I read Tiny Cooper's story by David Levithan recently, and I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was, you know, it is very out and proud, and it's not very, you know, like, shy, but it's just happy. It's an extremely happy and fun book. And if I read something like that when I was younger, or James Dawson's, he wrote a book recently which is more of an informational book about being gay, and I also like that. This book is gay. That's what it's called. I just think any, you know, books like that, it's just great.
Did you read Proxy by Alexander London?
I haven't, no.
I was a moderator on a diversity panel, and actually Nicole was on it, and she was fantastic. And Alex London, who is, you know, he's a gay male. He writes middle grade, but he also writes YA. And he was talking about, he has this great series, and the first one's called Proxy, and it's about, like, he's like a gay action hero, basically. And he said, like, I want to write a gay character who is, like, just a boy who happens to be gay, but is still, like, kick-ass and gets to be, like, you know, the action star, not just...
Right, and I would love that.
You would love...
I would love that. I'm going to have to Google that after this and Amazon it, because that's, like, and that's great. Like, why have I not heard about this book before? Like, in the UK, I need to see some more talk about books like this. But yeah, thanks for that. I'm going to write that on my list.
Becky Albertalli's book too. Sorry. Becky Albertalli's Sapiens Agenda. That's fantastic too. I was thinking about that when you were talking about
Yeah.
Oh yes. And I just got a book in the mail the other day. More Happy Than Not. Did I say that wrong? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be good.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I actually I love how we're talking about race and just like the homosexuality stuff, and I also think it's something to touch on like different body types, because currently I've read quite a few books with girls and even guys, but mostly girls with who are bigger, and they're not the stereotypical like really fit, beautiful type of girl. A recent book that Ben and I both listened to was The Queen of the Cheerleading by Erica Johansson, and yeah, it was so good. And she was not. She was seen as a little bit overweight, and she was very plain. She was not a vibrant, skinny, like beautiful character. So she was somebody that people like me and people that like everybody else can like connect to, that this is a person that you can see like in everyday life, even though she's a fictional character. So I like seeing variations in body types, like skin tones, like race, gender, just all that stuff, like and like I just think it's amazing seeing that. Like, we need diverse books. That's something that I really like think about. And and also I'd like to touch on that in books. I haven't seen many books recently about people with ADD or dyslexia. Yes, there's some books, but me, I struggle with both of them. Like, I have severe ADD and severe dyslexia, and I don't see that many people writing about those issues as much as I wish they did, because so many people struggle with that. And I think it's like really good when books do touch on that. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know I've read a few. Like, oh, Percy Jackson, right? I think that he has one of those. Yeah. So,
yeah, he has dyslexia.
And that's amazing, because when I was younger, I found it difficult to read, but if I found like Percy Jackson sooner, I would be like, oh, he is awesome, but he also had dyslexia. So I think like we need diverse books in those like things as well.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, another good book is None of the Above. That's like
I
love
that one.
It's really good.
Really good book.
Awesome. So the next question, which I'm super stoked about, really, really excited about, which we're going into more like kind of general topics, and this one is, what book or books are you currently reading at the moment?
Oh, 1 second, guys.
If you're reading.
Oh my gosh, she has them. Now I'm feeling stressed out.
Oh yeah, now I feel like should I go get the book?
Yeah, let's do a dance break. Come on, Val, let's go.
Oh my gosh, you know, there's so many that I feel like I'm always reading at the moment, because I get a lot of arcs sent to me, you know, with my job and everything, being a journalist. So the last like week or so, I haven't been reading much, just getting ready for like my book coming out and everything. But gosh, I mean, so I can't really say what I'm reading at the moment. I know that not that long ago I read The Wrath of the Dawn, and I loved that. I know I've like said this to Renee so many times. She's probably just sick of hearing about it, but it was like one of my favorite books of the year, so I can't talk about that enough. And of course, I read Charmed, and I read The Wicked Will Rise and all that when those came out. And so yeah, I mean, I haven't read it in probably a few weeks, just because of everything in my book. But
you're excused for the month. I'm telling you, the whole month, you're excused.
There's so many good books out there right now, though, which I want to read them all. There's just so many good ones.
Oh, so many. Never have any time. I have two. The first one is Julie Murphy's Dumplin'.
Oh, I want to read that.
It's so good, and she is so wonderful. And then the second one that I'm reading is, it just came out, and I read this in ARC form, but I had to read it again because it just came out. It's Mary Pearson's Heart of Betrayal. This is so good. I love this story. I love her writing, and she's so wonderful.
I can't believe you just have them like on hand, like the book.
Actually, in the room next door, which was like, I was like, yes.
Hey.
Oh my god. No, okay, I forgot. I will say I did sneak in and read one book in like 24 hours because it was so good, and that was Under the Lights by Dahlia Adler. I don't know if you guys have like read that book, but you really need to. It was just such a great. It was a romance between a girl, and just like all of it was just like so natural, and you know, just Dahlia did such a great job with the book, and it was really entertaining and everything else. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. I wanted to say, Renee, I also read The Heart of Betrayal, and it's so good. It's such an amazing sequel. I love it. But right now, I'm just finishing up reading an arc of Ruined by Amy Tintera, which is her new YA fantasy that's coming out in 2016, and it's so good. Like, you guys really need to read this book. And I am also reading, like I said, Tiny Pretty Things. I'm about halfway done that, and because I can't help myself, I also bought this book today. Reconstructing Amelia, which is, I guess it's an adult novel about a single mother litigation lawyer whose daughter, I guess she commits suicide, but and it's unexpected, so it follows her, you know, what led to this. And I'm pretty excited about it.
Cool.
Kami?
Okay, I'll admit I have not been reading a lot because just turned my draft in like 3 days ago. So like I have The Wrath and the Dawn, I have like 50 million books stacked up that have to like in my to be read pile, and I've literally read nothing but magazines or nonfiction. But I did take a couple of books that I wanted to read. The one that I read that I loved right before I started drafting The Lovely Reckless is Still Waters by Ash Parsons. It's really, really good. It's like, it's dark and kind of sad, and I don't know, it reminds me, you guys are all too young. There's like no one my age, but it reminds me of this like kind of, you know, at close range, like old, you know, 80s kind of movies where it's like, you know, something terrible is going to happen, but you're not quite sure how it's going to like shake down, so you have to watch anyways. And I love Rachel Kane's new Ink and Bone because, I mean, like, where you know, a library runs the entire world, like, there's nothing better than that. And then the two books I'm actually just started reading are Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, which is insane.
Oh, good.
So good so far. And Riders by Veronica Rossi, which is also amazing. Like, right now I was, like, pretending that I was going to not read either of them so I could finish editing, but then I've been like reading a little bit, like here and there. But I could tell they're going to be good.
I'm also reading Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, and I just finished Hollywood Witch Hunter because I had to blurb it. So those are my two books, and it was great.
Yeah, I also just finished Hollywood Witch Hunter literally today. I was speaking to Val, and it was like 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning for you, and I just got it and read it, and it was amazing. I'm also reading Mangus Chase and The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan, which is his new book coming out in October, and it's so good. Like, I have never been so more interested in Norse gods ever. Like, I love his Greek series, I love his Egyptian series, but by far, I possibly might have to say that this is my favorite book so far out of all of the ones he's written. This is just like ridiculously good. Like, it's mind-blowing at this point. So it's got everything he is known for: humor, intelligence, wit, fast-paced action, and a great voice of a character. So I'm very much obsessed with this book.
I'd like to know, I pre-ordered my Hollywood Witch Hunter. I'd love to know how in the UK you managed to get yours, and mine was supposed to arrive the day the book came out, and it's still not arrived. So don't think about the UK, because like you have your book. My book is still not in my house, and I have like a personal relationship with the delivery people. You know, they pick it up all the time.
It's amazing. You'll love it.
Okay, I can't wait.
Okay, so what I'm currently reading is, okay, so I have to say, this is probably a part of one of my most favorite series ever, and I don't know why I hadn't even got to it yet, but I am reading it now, and it is Magic Study by Maria V. Schneider. First of all, this cover is gorgeous. It's probably one of my favorite covers ever. Second of all, it's just a great story. I was in a really big reading slump. Like, I just didn't feel like reading this past week because I've been getting ready to move out of my house and whatnot, so it's all been hectic. But I finally sat down and started reading this, and it just sucked me in, and it made me just feel good about reading it, and it is just such a great story. It's so consistent and just amazing with twists and turns, and I highly recommend that you guys go read Poison Study if you haven't already. It is fantastic. It's one of my favorite books of all times, but I'm so glad I'm finally getting into this. My reading slump is gone, so that's very good as well. Okay, so we have our last question here. And that is, tell us about what you are working on, and are there any upcoming books on the way?
Oh, God.
Oh, God, this is hard. I'm working on so many.
I guess all I can really say is I am working on 2 other YA books. One's kind of a dark fairy tale retelling, and the other is like a YA thriller. It's, oh gosh, I just can't say too much about it. But I like it. It's very different than anything I've ever worked on before. but just writing it is really fun. I'm really excited about it. And yeah, so that's about, and then my book comes out today, so it's crazy. I'm still like so out of it. So if I'm not making sense throughout this chat, I haven't slept. That's it.
Again, the whole month, I'm telling you, you're okay, so I am working on the edits for The Rose and the Dagger, which is the sequel to The Wrath and the Dawn, and that is coming out next summer. And I'm beginning to draft another book that I can't really talk about right now, but it's another fantasy book, and I'm really, really excited about that. And okay, as for stuff coming up, I think I'll just talk about other people's books that I'm so excited. I'm so excited for Marie Lu's The Rose Society. And,
oh my god, same!
Oh my god, I'm so excited for it. And I'm also really, really excited for the conclusion of the Winter's Trilogy by Marie Ahdieh. So it's The Winter's Kiss. I love her books and I love her writing. And then I'm super excited, and I realize I'm lucky here, but because she's one of my beta readers and we read each other's stuff. I am so crazy excited for Sabaa Tahir's second book, the sequel to An Ember in the Ashes. Oh my god.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be amazing. Oh.
Renee, I feel like we have the exact same taste in books because every book you said, I'm like, yes, I agree. I love these books too. So for me, my next book that's coming out is Dead Girls Society, and that, I don't know what I can tell you about it. It is about basically this girl who gets pulled into like an anonymous dare club where, you know, things, I guess I can't really talk about it without really giving anything away, but I got the cover for it like really moments before this live chat started, and it's so good, and I can't wait to show everybody. It's completely epic. It's amazing. I love it.
When does it come out?
My God.
It's I guess fall 2016. I'm not sure if it's going to get bumped though, so it may be, you know, winter 2017 or fall 2016. I'm not too sure. It's sort of up in the air right now.
And when do we see the cover?
I don't know. I want to show everyone right now.
When we go off live. When we go off live.
Not be impressed with me.
Show us. So my next book is I have two projects, but the one that will actually be finished is The Lovely Reckless, and it's coming out from Macmillan, from Imprint at Macmillan, which is my editor for the Legion books and Dangerous Creatures.
Erin.
Wow, so it's awesome. Erin's so great. And it is basically, it's contemporary romance, which I have not done before in full length. But, you know, I am a real person and I've had a romance, so I feel like that, you know, uniquely qualifies me. And it's about a girl who gets into trouble and has to move in with her dad, who is a undercover cop in Auto Squad, which is stolen cars, which is what my stepfather did. And he falls in love with a boy who's illegal street racing, and it turns out he is also stealing cars, and he's the boy that her dad's looking for.
Oh wow!
That's so good.
So my agent says it always comes out strange when I say this, but you know, I know a lot about stealing cars, and I know a lot about cops that investigate stealing cars. So it seemed like a really good fit, and it's fun to write. It's fun to write because it's very kind of, you know, not like dirty sexy, but, you know, like appropriately sexy.
Yeah.
But sexy,
Yes.
usual sexy. Not like it needs, like, you know, a sticker kind of sexy. But it's kind of like sexy and fun.
We're okay with that anyway.
Yeah, like cars are, I don't know, stealing cars, racing cars, like all that stuff is really fun. Like, knowledge. Yeah, I get to use all this weird knowledge that I've never done anything with, like how to get out of handcuffs and stuff like that.
So fun.
A strange upbringing. And that will be out in October of 2016. And the other one, I'm not sure, is also with my editor, but I'm not allowed to talk about it, and we're not sure what I'm doing. Basically, my agent's like, you're not allowed to think or do anything else until you turn in the revision of your book. So I'm under lock.
I think that Kami and I are living parallel lives. I'm also not supposed to be reading or thinking or doing anything but finishing Stealing Snow. It's a Snow Queen retelling that begins with a girl in a mental hospital who does not realize that she's the heir to the Snow King's throne. So it's just very dark and fun and another fairy tale, but I love it.
Awesome.
When does it come out?
Next year, the fall of 2016. I don't have a month yet. I think it's also maybe October. I'm not sure.
I should know this since, of course, you're going to send it to me early to read. So.
Yeah, of course I will. I would love to send it to you early to read. I want yours.
I am a great beta reader, I'll have you know.
I would take it. I would be thrilled.
Guys, so am I. I'm such a good beta reader, so send me all of your books this
Hey,
fall.
you have like a booktube channel. I don't know about beta reading. You like beta reading?
I don't trust you. I'd be like, guys, I'm reading this book, okay?
It's so hard not to like share about it. Like I currently had to. I still can't talk about it, but I currently read a book that I just want to scream from like my rooftop saying that I read it, but I can't. So it's like one of those things that you're like, okay, it's coming out soon. That's all. Because
it's good that you're trustworthy and you don't tell anyone.
Yeah. Nobody knows except like 2 of my friends, and that's it. But I actually have something to tell people because I haven't really announced this stuff yet. But I am kind of writing a book. Since I'm going to college for like writing, literature, and publishing, I'm like, okay, I should get into it. But I am not. Currently, I have only 4 chapters, and those 4 chapters I'm creating into a short kind of film thing that will be mainly just. I don't know if it'll be silent or something, but it'll be like really epic, I hope. And I'm filming that this week actually. So you guys can look at that on my channel. Yeah, I'm really excited because I'm a very visual person. I want to put it into like into a movie form to get people excited, and I hope that it works out. But right now it's going to be like a short film thing that I'm working on, so I'm excited about that.
Cool.
And I'm super boring, and I am not writing anything. This is because I'm actually working on my new solo album. So I left Destiny's Child recently. You probably all heard the news. So yeah, I'm very busy, like in the studio, you know, filming and singing. So, but maybe I get to writing soon. So.
And we almost wrote a book together, and we got. I wrote 3 paragraphs. Ben didn't write anything, and it was the most.
I was too busy singing.
It was about elemental magic. It was about time travel. It was in Scotland, and it was like I don't know what it was, but
it was a historical fiction as well.
Oh, what are we doing?
It was Aang the Avatar meets Outlander, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. And it was really a mess. And then we're like, yeah, we're not doing this. We're like, oh my gosh, we can self-publish it by like the time we go to Scotland. That was a month ago. It did not happen.
No, but seriously though, a book that I really am excited about at the moment is Witchlanders by Susan Dennard. Did I say her name right? I am just that book appeals to me ridiculously.
Oh, I have that, and I'm reading it this week, and I'm so excited.
I hate you. No, but seriously, this is the problem with living in the UK. We get really good books, but not everything's published here, so it's really difficult to get hands on certain things. So, no, but seriously, I'm reading it in spirit. Do
it.
Awesome. Everyone go and buy Hollywood Witch Hunter because it's so fantastic, and Valerie deserves the support ridiculously. So
yes, definitely. And it was trending on Twitter this morning. Congratulations!
And I tweeted about it and everything. It's amazing. I can't even believe it. And thank you all for just being a part of the show. I'm like, is this really happening to me? It just feels so surreal. So thank you so much. And Ben's doing my husband made a trailer for Hollywood Witch Hunter, and it's on Ben's channel right now.
Yes.
Wow.
Check it out. The link will be down below. And also, if you want to read any of these amazing authors' books, which I highly recommend you do, so you should definitely do that, the links for them will be down below, and the link is for anybody, even if you're international. It's free worldwide shipping, so you're welcome. So, yeah. So thank you, everybody, for being on my channel. Valerie, oh my gosh, awesome. I'm so excited for you. Valerie, you totally deserve this, and her book is over there. I got it bound as a manuscript just the other day, just so I can read it. I love the physical copies of books. So, congratulations. Happy book birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. Thank you so much, Sasha and Ben and everybody. This was amazing.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Okay,
great.
great.
It's so fun.
Yeah. Yay! Okay, so that's all for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, go check down below if you want to go get Valerie's book, which is on sale now, and it's $2.99, correct, as an ebook right now.
It's like for a special debut week price, so it's only for 1 week. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
So go buy it now. Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you. It's so much fun.
Okay, bye.